Yeah, so my name is Silalija Adeboale's News Instanta Sports, the best sporting show in the whole of the universe. I have the whole gang with me today, and I have a guest analyst as well. I don't even know what the theme of the show is today. Kachi is saying probably Gabriel Yuzuz, but I'll let Kachi do the honor of giving us what the theme is today. And I'll allow all the co-hosts introduce themselves, starting from Laya Bada. Laya, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Temilayo. I live in Houston, Texas. This is my first time on the show. I'm so happy to be here, actually. Thank you, guys.
All right, perfect. Lali.
Yeah, good day, sporting fans around the world. If you're a United fan, just like me, you can see me the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling cold. It has not been easy. Saturday and Sunday. I'm trying to recover. So pardon me if some of my take today doesn't probably align to the other guys.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Shay.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to the show, and it's quite good to be back on the show. Like Olawale said, I miss you guys too. As Olawale said, this is not good times for Manchester United fans, but the show must go on, and we thank God that we are here today.
All right, perfect. Orokukachi.
Sports fans, like I would always say, always a pleasure to be on the show. It's always also nice to have Lyle from the other side of the pond here with us. It would be so easy to beat down on United and their fans, but I won't do that. I'll try and be very objective today. And for me, the theme really is on how a promise of consistent football sometimes can bring out the very best in you. We're seeing that already with Gabriel Jesus, who I think, based on what we said during our production call, is on pace to score 25, 26 goals across all competition. It's shaping up to be the deal of the season in the EPL. We can't say the same for United. Stay tuned for a cracking one.
Come on.
I could not resist. I could not resist. I'm sorry, guys.
I couldn't resist. United now. At least give us some soft landing. We know we're already.
All right.
We know we're already
perfect. All right, perfect. We'll move straight to the NBA, where there is a topic of discussion for us. We've been talking about it for the past 3-4 weeks, but this news seems not to go away. And it's about probably one of the most talented guys to ever grace the NBA, and that's Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. We understand it might be the most docile player outside the court, but on the court is a keypad warrior anyways. He knows how to tweet, but not fast so much. He calls his mom whenever he needs to fight. So we're looking at it, and Olale, I'm going to come straight for you right now. I know we discussed this a couple of weeks back, and there was a consensus, which is not popular on this show, amongst us three, that staying in New York is the best option for KD. But news are gearing up, and the momentum are gathering towards him going to the 76ers or the Celtics. The next word from the Celtic, I don't think, for me, does not make sense. It's too much. If you want Jaylen Brown, you want what's this guy? Marcus Smart. I want Jason Tatum again on top of that, just for KD. If KD moves to Celtic, he's a fool, because who is he going to be playing with when he gets to Celtic? You know.
Also, you're saying Jason Tatum is going to where? Is going to.
They are requesting. The Nets are requesting for Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown
in exchange for Kevin Durant
for KD. For me, does not make sense. No, and on the flip side, for the 76ers, you are wondering what the Brooklyn Nets can actually get for KD, because I'm pretty sure the bed will not go back to New York. That's guaranteed. Joel Embiid, who happens to be the number one guy in 76ers, will not want to leave. That leaves you to less options. Just as Maya, correct me if I'm wrong. Just
Tyrone
like
Maxey,
basically. Yeah. Tyrone Maxey, that would be the only guy that would make sense that can actually go to to New York. But with this momentum gathering up, and the fact that KD, okay, I'll leave that question for Kachi. Just answer that first. I'll leave the other question for Kachi. Go ahead, Olawale.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, I think the whole trade talk about Kevin Durant, where he's going to play next season. The Rudy Gobert trade to the Minnesota Timberwolves has made things very, very difficult. If the Timberwolves could get if the Utah Jazz could get catching up to how many picks? Almost
five trade picks. Five
trade picks with 2 other guys. What do you expect the Brooklyn Nets to ask for Kevin Durant?
Man.
So that has actually made that trade very impossible to do at this point in time. Unless the Brooklyn Nets will just have to accept that whichever way they are going to be on the losing side. Because of course, when you trade in basketball, no matter how good a trade is, one team will seem to be like the winner. But this way, but in this particular trade, of course, it is very sure that Brooklyn Nets will come out as a loser. But to what extent are they going to lose is what we are even looking at. So for now, what they are trying to do is just to do some bit of damage control. I don't know what the Philadelphia will have to offer them. It will take the owner Josiah just signing up on it. Like, okay, just let KD go. Because if you are looking at the number of years KD has left on his contract.
And if
you are looking at what the teams are offering, what do you call it?
The Nets.
Offering the Brooklyn to take KD. Compare it to what Utah got for Rudy Gobert. No sane human being will do this trade. So for me, it's all speculation. I don't think the Philadelphia 76ers have enough to offer, what do you call it? To offer Brooklyn Nets
the Nets
for the service of KD. So, but of course, the prospect of having KD, Joel Embiid, James Harden together in a team looks very, very enticing, especially in a city like Philadelphia, who are very known to be very good as in they love their sport, they love their team. So whichever way, but let's see how it goes. I don't want to dwell too much on it. I just don't see it happening. Even if you are offering Tyrese Maxey and some couple of other guys, I still don't think it's enough, unless Josiah just wants it to happen. So for now, think for me, it's fingers crossed. I don't see it happening for now.
All right, perfect. Kachi, I'm going to come to you now for the second question, and I know we've had a not so good conversation around this because we have a certain opinion about it. Steve Nash and the CEO or whatever it is, KD wants them gone for whatever it is for him to be able to stay at the Nets, which I totally agree with. I know you disagree with it. I just want you to air your opinion and see if the fans will agree with you, basically.
Okay, thanks, Debo. So the issue here is KD basically laying down the gauntlet, saying, okay, it's typical to most people who watch Nigerian home videos when the wife would come in and tell the husband, it's either your mother leaves the house or I leave the house for you, pretty much. Unfortunately, I felt and I still believe that KD did that knowing, I think he's a Jedi master, knowing that there is no way Josiah would buy into that. It was probably the best way or the only way KD had to ultimately leave what we can refer to as a failed project in Brooklyn. And my stand is this, that as soon as that demand was made, KD probably made up Josiah's mind to eventually trade it, even though I still believe that his best place to be is to eat the humble pie, stay in Brooklyn, and see what you can salvage over the next 4 years of your career, of your contract. My take now is this. I sincerely believe that Josiah, similar to what Olawale has said, will aim to lose something. He will not win whatever trade deal he ultimately enters into to get KD out of Brooklyn. He will not, but he will get a good piece out of it. Just hypothetically getting a Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and maybe the return of James Harden to Brooklyn Nets for KD.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying that. But ultimately, what I think will happen is that Josiah would concede to KD's demand. But once that is done, he will now play his power to say, this thing belongs to me. And he will ultimately let both John Max and Steve Nash go. I've always felt that was a bad signing, giving Steve Nash the reins of Brooklyn, and immediately hearing what the top two players of the Nets said about their coach. They don't need a coach. But let's also not forget that these two guys co-signed. And when I mean two guys, I'm talking of Kyrie Irving and KD. They agreed, they blessed that appointment of Steve Nash. And to Steve Nash's credit, because I'm not saying he's a good coach, but in the very first year of this project.
Kachi, don't say I'm not saying he's he's not a good coach. Just put it out there.
I am not saying he's a good coach. I'm not correcting myself. I'm not saying he's a good coach. But to his credit, the very first year of this project of Nash and these three musketeers, they were just a size 13 foot of KD's foot away from heading to the final. And we all know that if they had won the Bucks, they definitely would have at least gentleman swept the Phoenix Suns, and we probably won't be having this conversation because they would have a championship. Now, all true. This I've said to come back, and I'm doubling down that Steve Nash is not a great coach, not even an average coach, but Josiah would rather stick with that management until he gets rid of KD before making any decision there, because whatever happens, that room is toxic. I know we don't want to talk about it. Our very good friend, we got information that just before game 4 of that ill-fated series against the Celtics, during their WhatsApp exchange, asking everybody, okay, Ben Simmons, are you ready to go? And my guy left that chat. That means even if everybody comes back to that thing, the dynamic is already poisoned. It's a poison chalice. There has to be a full clear out, similar to what we're expecting Man U to do. Sorry, Man U fans, I have to say that again. Similar to what we're expecting them to do, there has to be a fresh start in Brooklyn, and it will start with the coach, but only after KD leaves.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that analysis, Kachi. I don't agree with you anyways. I feel KD should be left. Honestly, for the Nets, because looking at it, and I believe deep inside of you agree with me, the Nets will never get anything good.
Nobody will get anything good. Nobody. There's no purer shooter right now in the NBA apart from Kevin Durant. He's just a naturally good shooter.
So for me, and I understand the fact that we established the fact that Steve Nash is not the best of coaches. Let me be subtle with that. So why not just keep KD, or this is just about players' power play?
Anyways, and that's the thing. Sorry, I'm cutting you short. It's the player power. Yeah. We're seeing all this transpire. Even the great LeBron James, we've seen how he's being clipped throughout the whole free agency craze of the recently concluded season. All his desire to get Russell away for next to nothing. The Lakers hierarchy were like, we already traded almost all our draft picks until 2028, 2029, and you want us to use it in a trade to get Russell out? No. So if they can clip LeBron's wings, albeit an old LeBron James, then I don't think KD is too powerful for them to clip his one. So it's just a player power thing.
Kachi, are you a Lakers fan?
No, I'm anywhere that is raining fan in basketball.
It does not support any NBA team. Thankfully enough, it does not support any NBA team. I don't support any.
I'm not a Raptors fan. I'm probably a Bucks fan if I have to look at it, but it's recency bias. It's not because it's a team I follow.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that, Kachi. I'm going to come to you, Lyle, and this is about Serena Williams. The retiring Serena Williams. We've seen what she's able to do over the years. Some people, we have a phrase on this show that we coined: dominance and being consistent. I'm pretty sure the guys will laugh about that. But with you officially, since you were not part of that conversation, will you confidently tell us that Serena dominated the female tennis world, or the Williams sisters, so to speak, dominated during their supposed reign, or it was just a little bit of consistency, and
I think
she's not the best ever in that category?
honestly, I won't consider that the best ever because
Okay.
okay, let's take it back. The first time I get to learn about the Williams sister was when I was doing was it GC? Yeah, way back, like, and you remember when we did our GC now, Sabri, everybody,
Yeah.
like we did it,
Yeah.
we all did it almost the same time.
99.
Still, like she's still active. She's not even aging. Like that's like what's the name of this? One of my best movies.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Curious Case of Benjamin. Like that's the way I refer to people like that. Maybe it's Zlatan or what's her name, or Serena sisters. And I think
aging backward.
they dominated. Like I respect their longevity in the game. You understand? But towards maybe for the past 6, 7 years or 8 years, they've been different. Most of the competition is either they're out,
100%.
out in first round of US Open. So many.
Yeah.
But she's a legend in the game. Actually, we can't take that away from her. I would never take that away from her. Even though
she was never dominated. She never dominated the game, even at her peak.
Not in recent years.
Yeah. Okay, but during her peak, did she dominate?
Actually, I think she dominated, but trust me, I'm not a very, very big lawn tennis fan. I follow the guys on like the Rafael Nadal and the male tournament,
and the Djokovic and the rest.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really follow this thing. Definitely,
you know where I stand on that.
Of course, I'm going to come to Sheyi. Sheyi is always my same baby. I know Sheyi is not. Sheyi
biased.
He's not biased like you guys. Like Olawale, of course. Olawale is just. I don't know whether Olawale toasted Serena before. Serena said no. The goals that Olawale has against Serena, but Sheyi, honestly, Serena not breaking the record of Margaret Court. Does that take away from the fact that she would be in the modern era, quote and unquote, she's the best player in the modern era because she did not win. She did not break the record of Margaret Court. Or she's not the best in the modern era. This is a legend by far, winning her first title at the age of 17. She has seen it all, done it all. Serena Slam, amongst other things.
Yeah, Deborah, thank you. I think I will just, I'll definitely agree with you. I think Serena Williams is a legend and deserves the respect and honor that is due to her. And even though she might not be able to, match up the 24 Grand Slams of Margaret Court, but we have to, if we compare the two tennis players, even during Margaret Court's time, look at Serena. Serena took a time out. I think she actually was pregnant when she won her last Grand Slam. She was like 2 months pregnant at that point. She gave birth and still came back to the game. If you compare that to other female tennis players, I think she's actually head above quite a lot of the greats. 100%, so for me, in recent time, in the new era, I think Serena is the greatest female tennis player. There is a lot of very good female tennis players that played during Serena's period, and if we actually remove Serena out of that bunch, they will equally be great. What I'm trying to say is Serena is actually the one that actually, I think, thwarted a lot of female tennis players, talking about Justin Enenadin, Kim Clijsters, was this Russian lady.
Sharapova.
Sharapova, thank you. Because I really enjoyed their battle, their what's it called? Their head-to-head over the race there. And what else can we say? Serena is a legend of the game, and I think maybe like Kachi used to say, recency bias. I'm biased towards her being the greatest ever female tennis player.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Sheyi. Olale, your opinion. Just 1 second. I need to give you that. Yeah,
No,
just 1
nothing.
second.
Well,
Because
Serena
I
has
know you
probably
don't have
had
so,
it.
you don't have so
She-
much.
she had-
You don't have so many
she has,
good
as
to
in-
say about her.
Of course, she's one of the greats of the game. You see, I think we need to be a bit careful when we give out these greatest of all time, because for me, career as contest. She was saying, yeah, she did this, she won that. Okay, please, if you look at Margaret Court, her last Grand Slam was won at the age of 31. So she was, I think Serena won her last Grand Slam probably at the age of 30, 2017. So that is 5
Yeah.
years. That should be
35. Yeah,
35,
35 years.
and I think Margaret Court played, I think the number of years she played tennis is quite, what do you call it, shorter than Serena. So sometimes there are contests to these things. And for me, like, I don't like to always compare eras, because
Yeah,
things are quite different.
Of course.
And
But Olale, in the new era,
wait, this
Serena the
agenda
best.
that there's a disbelief that we believe those people in that era cannot do it in this era, it's a bit false. So
Yeah,
for me, I
course,
think
100%.
it's fine. She's great. It's just a bit of, I'm not comfortable with her playing this victim card every now and then. You are retiring for good. One of the statements, I think in the interview she had with the Vogue, when she was,
Yeah.
well, I think some couple of days ago, when she was announcing her retirement, she
Uh-huh.
said some couple of things which probably for me, I think they were a bit unnecessary. She said, believe me, I never wanted to have to choose between tennis and a family. I don't think it is fair. If I were a guy, I wouldn't be writing this, because I will be out there playing and winning while my wife was doing the physical labor of expanding our family. Maybe I'll be more of a Tom Brady. Come on. There was no need for all this. It's very, very
Why
unnecessary.
not? Why not?
What?
It's our
How many
opinion, but it's
sports
the
guys?
truth.
Wait. How many sports guys have you seen playing to the age of 40? It's even a privilege for you to play to that age. How many sports guys have you seen?
Olali, I'm pretty sure when she made that statement, she's referring to
for me,
the number
wait
of
now,
years
let me finish.
that she did
Just
not
let me
play.
finish. Let me finish.
Hold on.
Wait,
Before you finish.
let me finish
Before you
before you call
finish.
me.
Oh my
No, I
God.
will not allow you.
Okay.
Let
Let me
finish.
write it down.
Now,
Go
I
ahead.
think she's more pained for the fact that she can't break that Margaret Court record. That's why all this narrative of, if I, at 40, as a sport person, either male or female, you are done. You have to be an exceptional human being for you to play up to this age. You shouldn't have any regrets. You shouldn't have to make it about men. It's unnecessary. Retire in peace. That's all. That's for me. That was the same thing she did when she lost to Naomi Osaka the other time. She took the shine away from that lady's victory at the US Open. It's very unnecessary. That's my take. You guys might not lie. It might not. I know you guys are. Of course.
Thank you. I'm saying apologies, and I admit to that. Bolale, I'm not speaking. I'm not holding brief for Serena, but she's probably referring to the time that she got pregnant and whatnot. That took years away from my career, and you can't deny that fact. You know, and maybe if she did not give birth and
Kim Clijsters could have the same argument. Kim Clijsters could have the same argument.
Kim Clijsters cannot tie the shoelace of Serena. That's the truth.
Yes, you have gotten to year 40.
The only person that can tie the shoelace of Serena Williams is just Venus Williams. Any other female tennis player cannot tie her shoelace. That's
forget it. A lot of people can. If Justin Heading has not stepped out of the game in those years, it could have been a different story entirely. Justin Heading was actually dominating when she was almost dominating too. If you want us to use that particular word,
no. She was not
because you had issues with us the other day. Not dominating.
She did not dominate. The only person that dominated tennis sport and this this new era.
If Justin Heading has not stepped out of the tennis court
at
the peak, Serena will not win up to 23 Grand Slam. It's a fact.
That's a lie. I
May
don't believe
not.
It's not
that.
a lie.
Anyways,
It's a fact.
May not win
I
up
don't
Kaki,
believe
to.
please, you have to say something.
When Debo allows me to
Kachi,
speak,
I want to come to Kachi. Kachi, do you agree with Olawale with this attack on physical
not an
attack
attack.
and emotional attack and psychological
It's not an
attack
emotional
on
attack.
Serena?
And then the
I
attack.
believe during our production call, Kachi, we were talking about something, right? I know it's personal, so I'm not going to say it the personal way. We're talking about a man that does not want to give birth to a second child because he doesn't want to take the shine off his wife, which is reasonable. And the same thing, the same philosophy is what Serena is coming out with right now. That probably if I don't give birth to my child, I'll have those 2 years that I was out of tennis or whatnot, I could have used it to win 1 or 2 more Grand Slams, which I think is reasonable. It's not so. Olawale thinks Serena is being a sexist or whatnot. I don't understand Olawale, honestly. Olawale, are you sure you never trusted Serena? Be truthful.
We can never rule that out. We have to check all Olawale's Instagram posts and see if he slid into Serena's DM on the lighter note. But the truth is, in this generation, this particular generation and time we're in, you have to think several ways. You have to analyze anything anybody says from different angles. It never used to be the case before. You would come out, make your statement, and the woke generation would not question you. We're in a Me Too society or generation right now, where we've seen a lot of men or misogynistic attitude from men or male celebrities in the past, and even some sports personalities. And I think that lends credence to the fact that, yes, maybe in times past, our women have been marginalized or treated badly. Now, having said that, I still do think that comment was not necessary. I'm not saying it's not right, but it's not necessary. It's not everything you think of that you say. Somebody used to tell me that the reason why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth is that we should listen twice and speak only once. So we don't really say everything that we think of. I don't think it was appropriate because it's pretty much turned Gisele Bündchen, Tom Brady's wife, to just a baby making machine. But we know that this was a woman that was still the highest paid model, even when she was making a family with Tom Brady. Serena, I believe, was bitter because she did not equal Margaret Court's record. Yeah. But I also agree that if she wasn't pregnant, if she was dominant when she was 2 months pregnant, she probably would have won more if she was not pregnant with the baby. So she took about 1.5 years off to have a child and win the baby. And she thinks that robbed her of the opportunity to at least match what Margaret Court has done. But I mean, for me, the argument would be similar to Michael Jordan. He was not the winningest player. I mean, he only won 6 titles. The late Bill Russell won 11. But we still call Michael Jordan the greatest NBA player ever. Serena, I believe, is the greatest sports person ever, period. Not just tennis. Sports person ever. That is me.
Finally, Kachi, you already used the word period. Forget about it. I won. Olawale, this battle is 1-0. Forget it.
But opinions must differ, and that is the beauty of sports.
Kachi, say no more. Period. Olawale, 1-0. Sheyi, I'm coming for you now. Sheyi, I'm coming for you. Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, we discussed it last week, but I'm pretty sure we did not do justice to it. I saw the guys' training regime, and I'm scared for Joshua. It was coming out of water, like Furiano or like David Goliath. I'm like, oh wow. Joshua is in for another trouble. Honestly, what do you think is going to happen based off what you've seen so far?
Wow, I think it's going to be another interesting boxing bout. I'm sure about that. Okay. Joshua did something fantastic for himself. After the loss last year, September, he changed his coach. And obviously that is going to play well for him is at the time to try to develop a new game plan this time around, knowing that Usyk is quite tactical. Usyk is skillful.
Mhm.
Usyk can go the length.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, also, if you look at the way things have gone for Usyk, also, the year hasn't been the best for Ukraine. He had to serve in the military for his country and also seek consent of the sports minister before taking on this bout, actually. So all those, we look at the psychological effect of that and the limited time for him to prepare for this bout. That might be part of the things that could go against him. But we already know what he can do. He's skillful. Like you said, I've seen clips of his training regime also, and I think the guy is such a fantastic boxer. Also with a sense of humor. We cannot also
100%
remove that from it. But I think Joshua needs to come to the party early. It's straightforward for Joshua. Come to the party early. Attack Usyk from the first 5 rounds. Do whatever damage you need to do. Then you can finish it off in the next additional 2 rounds. So what I'm saying in short is I give
Olawale is not agree. I don't like the way Olawale is smiling.
I give AJ 7 rounds to win the bout. Once it gets to the 8th round, I think there will be only one winner, and that can be Usyk. But I still believe that AJ is going to go into this bout fresher. I think the only thing going against him at the moment is the confidence of the confidence of Usyk. I think Usyk has developed a crazy confidence fighting Joshua right now. But that is what you can take out in the first 2 rounds. Hit him well in the first 2 rounds, and Usyk will understand that he's actually meeting a different animal. And I think that is the only way for Joshua. If he doesn't win in the first 7 rounds, there's going to be only one winner, and that is Usyk.
Oh, wow. Wow, I'm proud of myself. I think I said the same thing last week. Kachi, you should give me a round of applause anyways. Not so good with boxing, but I told you, I said if they go all out, the full 12 rounds, there's no way in hell unless Joshua has done something else to keep himself fit. Last time they fought, Joshua, after the 6th round, Joshua was panting like I do on the football pitch.
Okay, sorry, Debo. I just want to chip in something. The last bout of what's it called? Joshua. His last bout in Saudi Arabia, that was against Andy Ruiz. If you notice, his game plan was to go the length.
Yeah.
He avoided
I was just going to say that
come on the inside. He went the length and he outboxed Andy Ruiz for that particular match. But the point is, this particular one, you cannot even go the length with this guy because he's going to outbox you. You cannot outbox him. So that's why he needs a different technicality to enter into this particular bout. That's why it is risky for him. But I still believe we are going to see something different from Joshua, and hopefully he wins on the night.
Hopefully he's a Nigerian, for crying out loud. I have to support it. Lyle, what do you think is going to be the outcome? Everybody's scared.
I have to compare this game with Andy Ruiz. You know, we know what happened in the first fight with Andy Ruiz. I think Joshua actually he completely underestimated that dude, because he was supposed to fight someone. You know the story now, that build up.
Yeah, exactly.
He completely underestimated him. And I like the way he came back in the second fight. No, let me start from Andy Ruiz. I want to compare it to Usyk. I love what he did in the second fight, where he gave that guy one punch in the early stage and his face tore, and he was giving him arm's length. He couldn't, because he knew that guy is a boxer. Trust me, Andy Ruiz is a very good boxer.
Yeah.
They call them. It's just like what's the name of this guy? This guy that beat Ali. That Ali finally won the game, but he was on the floor. What's the name?
Joe Frazier.
Like Joe
Frazier.
Frazier.
No.
You understand? He's a very, very restless. He's all these guys that you can spar with. You know, with your training. He's a very, very good spar. You know, he
100%.
knows how to spar.
Yeah.
But never in Joshua's life will he close mark that kind of guy. He's not going to. There's no way he's going to spar with that guy. No way. So I like what he did in that second game. He gave that guy more arm's length, and he was running around. He was fighting just like Muhammad Ali. The technique that he used against Judge Foreman. You understand?
Yeah. Oh, Jeff Foreman. Yeah.
So I love that technique. I think he should go for that technique again when he's fighting Usyk in the second one, because Usyk is. I don't really see Usyk as dangerous as Ruiz. I won't lie to you. I don't really see him, but that guy is fast. He has technique. He can spar too, but he's not as dangerous as Ruiz.
And he has stamina. I think that's
he has stamina. That guy
that's
has
my
stamina.
biggest fear.
Like
He has
he's very
stamina.
rugged and very, very he's strong actually. But I don't see Usyk as a top fighter compared to Ruiz. You know why?
So for you now, you think
Because-
AJ can do this?
The reason why I'm telling you is because they were sparring now. They were near each other. They were boxing. But he can't even do that. He can't even move close to when he was fighting in Saudi Arabia. He can't even move close to Ruiz.
Close to Ruiz.
He's not. He can't. Do you know at some point Ruiz was like, "Come." Like I think that was the 12th round or the 10th round. He was like, "Come near me, let's box each other." You know, but he was very close to Usyk in that first fight. I don't see Usyk. I know that Usyk is an animal actually, and Joshua have to be very, very technical in that game. So I don't know what he's going for. I don't know what technicality is going for in this new one, but I don't see it as a tough fight. I think Joshua wins the game. I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not really a big fan. I'm not using Nigerian sentiment. I'm not really a
Okay.
big fan of Joshua because I know so many people that can box Joshua one-on-one. As a going to kill Joshua, he's going to end his career on the court. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to use sentiment, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to use a benchmark between Ruiz
What
and
against
Usyk.
Ruiz and
Yeah, because
Usyk?
they were boxing each other. Because when Joshua was fighting Usyk, they were really close to each other. They were beating each other, boxing each other. Even Usyk was more on the defensive part. It's just that stamina that helped him. You understand?
That stamina was just crazy.
So I think
When you have a middle Eastern European, that's what you get anyways from the
Yes.
Eastern European.
So I think Joshua is coming back with his A game. He's coming all out with his A game, and he's coming out with something different. And I'll give it to him. I'm not sure he's going to
All right.
box the second.
Perfect.
I'm not
Thank
sure.
you very much for that, Lion. Before we go to football, we still have to talk to Sheyi. Kamaru versus Leon Edwards. Kamaru is just our guy. I mean, I don't care. I don't even know who Leon Edwards is. I'm supporting Kamaru. I know Kamaru will win. Sheyi, tell me I'm right. That's all I need to hear from you.
Yeah, you're always right. Anyways, they call him the Nigerian Nightmare. I expect him to come back to the ring on the night and do what he knows how to do best and what he has previously done. Kamaru, Leon Edwards too. They initially fought in 2015, and Kamaru came up tops in that particular bout. Even though the first round was quite close, two of the three judges actually gave it to Leon Edwards. Yes, but obviously Kamaru has grown in stature, confidence, technicality, prowess, and endurance
The Benin boy.
since 2015 to 2022. So
That's 7 years
I
ago
think
for
there
Kamaru.
can only be one winner. Is either Kamaru knocks him out or a unanimous decision at the end of the day.
Wow, yes. So probably this weekend we'll see two Nigerians coming out on tops again.
Exactly.
That's great. I'm happy for that. And from there we'll move to football, where we'll be starting from the French league. I don't want to start with the English Premier League right now. We'll be starting with the French league, and this issue of power play, a player being the coach, he can fire and hire the coach, being the sporting director as well. He actually hired the current sporting director. We're talking about no other person than the kid,
the kid that was supposed to leave for Maria Mari but did not. I'm pretty sure Lion has so many things against him. But I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to give Lion that chance to deride him so much. Kachi.
I have to talk to.
They gave
you have to give that your chance. I bet.
Yes, I agree.
Vitinha had the ball. He saw Messi and Mbappe to his left. He passed the ball to Messi. And for crying out loud, Mbappe stopped running as if he was disinterested and turned his back on the attack, on that particular counter attack. And we're looking at it. We know we've spoken about this in the past, but giving this boy being a kid, I know he's rich, he can buy me, I know, but he's still a kid. Giving that kind of enormous power to do whatever he likes, it's not going to help sports at all. It's not going to help. It's going to hurt PSG as a brand more. And seeing these kind of things go around and turn around, maybe you see another person that has lame money and wants to spend it anyhow, using that kind of templates. You know, what do you think about it? I feel disgruntled with what Mbappe did. I've never seen that kind of, even Messi at Barcelona wasn't like this. But Messi is probably the greatest footballer ever across all eras. You know, and this is wrong. This is mother of all wrong, if you ask me.
I totally agree. During the production call, you saw how passionate I was when I saw clips of it, because I didn't see it, I didn't read about it. And I'm not saying the French league is the Farmers League, but I just didn't read about it. But I mean, considering when it happened and how it happened, I thought it was an unjustified reaction from Kylian Mbappe. We've touched many times on the danger of giving mentally immature players or people the reins to the throne. That is why, if you take it to the world of business, you see most African parents or most, not all, will tell you that even though I have money, I still want my son to enter public balls, or just to see life different from the lens they are using to see life right now, from another prison. And that's the danger that PSG currently find themselves in. I think it is that transfer of power that made Laporta, his name Laporta, the Barcelona honcho right now, think or assume that it is possible to lure Messi back from PSG to Barcelona, simply because you can't have a Messi there, you can't have a Neymar there, who are, maybe not Neymar, but Messi clearly better than Mbappe, maybe not right now, but in history, and you openly tell them that we don't consider your opinion, we would consider the opinion of a 21-year-old. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. Whether Mbappe knows it or not, I think it's getting to his head. That thing happened in the 47th minute when the referee had only given 3 minutes of added on time in the first half. They were up 2-0. And Messi was closer on the right side of the pitch, while Mbappe was on the far left. And that pass could have been intercepted. Now the ripple effect is what we wait to see. What will happen in the dressing room? We assume that Neymar has already bought into whatever is happening before now. This may lead to another crack in the PSG project. Mbappe himself, let's not forget, Mbappe came out on Thursday to say he knows that Real Madrid is a Ballon d'Or machine. So he knows that whatever they gave him is only temporal, but he plans to have the best, or he plans to use the most of it. Unfortunately, it's going to burn PSG. They will coast through the league as usual. They will always coast through the league. But when the business end of the season comes and they are competing for the European Championship and such a thing happens, it's going to remind you of the first year of Vini Jr. and Benzema. Don't pass to that guy. He's playing against our team.
I saw my mother's life. Lion, I'm going to give you the honor. Just sum it up in 1 word, 2 words, whatnot. Your opinion of what Mbappe did over the weekend.
Nobody should be ever greater than a team. I just think everything came up when he was trying to transfer to Real Madrid, where they were begging him with everything. Even they almost begged him with Sheikh Mansour's wife. That okay, I'm not defending my wife every night. They almost did that, As in, they had to bribe him with everything, And this is a 21-year-old boy. And you know me, I'm always against all these big
money.
money.
Yeah.
I don't like it because. All right, okay. Let me explain something to you. Kashi doesn't really know me well, so I'm always against all these signing player 100 million, 200 million. When it's not that they won a Ballon d'Or, When it's not like they won a Ballon d'Or already,
Mhm.
Like the only one I justify was Ronaldo's move from Manchester United to
Real Madrid.
Madrid.
and from Real Madrid to Juventus because he was a big player. He was the number one player on planet. Then you understand. So I'm already against it, but. I think the thing is given PSG giving Mbappe that kind of autonomy, to rule over every player, to make decisions, to change management, to tell them, oh, this is the coach I want, this is the director I want. No, it shouldn't be like that.
I don't even know how the coach will
I
succeed.
saw the game too. I saw the game. He eventually scored, but I don't think PSG will go far with that because number one, the dressing room is going to be divided.
Exactly.
He has his own faction.
Exactly.
The Brazilians will have their own faction. I think there are a couple of Brazilians in the team.
Yeah, the South Americans basically.
South Americans, those
Portuguese speaking guys.
Yeah, they're going to form a faction. These ones are going to form a faction. And trust me, like Kashi said, they are definitely going to win the Farmers League.
The French League.
Definitely. Nobody's going to take that away from them. And Mbappe is going to face a lot of problems this season because they've signed Vitia, they've signed Renato Sanchez. This guy is still there. So definitely they are pushing Messi forward. I don't think he can outscore Messi. It's not possible. He's not going to outscore Messi. It's not. Trust me. Watch the game now. He's not going to. Because that's Messi's in that position. You think because Messi is old, you think he can outscore him?
No. But, basically, just to chip in something, Mbappe came out a couple of weeks ago to say he has an agreement with Messi that Messi wants him to be the numero uno in the team, and Messi is ready to pass all the ball to him. But go ahead.
But from your own perspective, Kashi, Debo, Sabo, and Shei, what position do you think Messi will be playing? Is he still going to be playing as a 10, or is he going to be playing from the flank this season?
It's going to be playing as 10, playing behind. I don't understand the formation myself because it's going to be playing behind.
Because he plays
formation. Now he's playing behind Neymar and Mbappe.
Yeah, but before Mbappe came back, I think he was quite injured in some previous games. He was playing from the flank and he was scoring. I think they played about 2 games and he scored about 3 goals in those 2 games.
Yeah, so 100%.
So I don't know what formation they are using because I don't really follow PSG, but I think PSG
is a 3-4-3. 3-4-3.
If they continue to give
it's a flat 3. It's a flat 3.
It's a flat 3. It's a flat 3 with 4 in the middle. Messi right on top of the cherry of the 4, and Mbappe, Neymar as the 2 strikers. It doesn't make sense to me anyways, because Neymar will not perform optimally in that formation.
My own problem is by default, they always have problem trying to win Champions League, which is their ultimate goal. They want to win that Champions League. They want to be able to say, they are the best team in PSG.
They spend money.
League, apart from Olympique Marseille, who is the only French league club that has won UCL before.
Champions League, yeah.
So
we know what happened after that year.
They already have problem with all this their money laundering. They already have problem.
You don't have to say that. You're just a party pooper, Kachi. Why do you have to say that? Go ahead.
We have to remind the whole world that a year after they won it, they were relegated because of what happened. So let's just put that out there.
But my point is, PSG as a team, even Man City, they already have this big money move. All eyes is on them. They are signing big players. And trust me, when you are signing a player for 200 million, 100 million, 150 million, 350 million, trust me, that player you are already setting up the player for failure because he's going to be playing under duress. You have to give a ROI on how much you signed him. You have to give that performance back. That's okay. This is the reason why they signed him. So he's already under duress already. So players like those PSG players, they already have this UEFA Champions League problem because everybody's coming up for them. It's not easy for them to win. So with current Mbappe's attitude and the autonomy given to him and the misuse of power, trust me, they are still going to have that problem, and it's going to be worse if they don't
All right.
address it at the early
All
stage.
right. Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Lion. Malali, I'm going to come to you now. I understand the fact that we extracted Barcelona last week, but going back, they could not register their players before the La Liga started yesterday. But by Friday night or Thursday night, they sold 25% of their studio rights, whatever that means. I don't know what that means, but sold 25% of their studio rights to be able to register 4 of their players, apart from Konde, that they could not register. Honestly, okay, let me put it out there again. Gerard Piqué right now is like not getting any salary for Barcelona again. Same with Sergio Busquets. And I know, okay, sorry. I won't say I know. I feel all this is just a smooth screen. It's just a mirage. It's a promise, it's like an economical fraud, if you ask me. That's the way I see it. Whatever it is that Laporte, I know he's a lawyer and a smart one at that. So he's trying to, he must have tied all the loose ends. But this thing does not add up again. It's looking ridiculous, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Is it about time that you ever steps in or whatnot? Because I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think the first thing, I think we need to give a bit of kudos to the La Liga for taking a bold step in trying to normalize the craziness that is going on in football. With these
Wage cap.
salary cap and some kind of things like that. Whichever way, I think in few years' time, probably 5-10 years to come, we probably will see a lot of revelation about what is actually happening in Barcelona. The fact remains, Barcelona did a lot of wrong things, and it seems, for me, it looks like Barcelona has been used as a means of money laundering. I'm sorry to say, because when you look at, I think we discussed, when you look at the kind of wages that just look at the Frankie de Jong contract, it's just unbelievable crazy for a central midfielder. As smart and intelligent as he is, you don't give a CM such contract. So all these things they are trying to do, it's a bit of a gamble. And for me, but what doesn't even make sense to me is the fact that yes, it is established that Barcelona, they have financial issues. At the end of last season, I think they have a decent team. We saw them beating Real Madrid at the Bernabeu 4 goals to nothing. It was not just like it wasn't a one-off result. It wasn't like a fluke. I think I was expecting them to approach the transfer window a little bit caution and modesty. But what we saw was more of a bullish team trying to hijack deals from other teams. I now wonder, I believe a team that has financial issues, and you are lucky to get Aubameyang virtually on free from Arsenal.
Yeah.
I don't think your priority should be Lewandowski. I'm sorry to be corrected, but I don't think Lewandowski will add any significant value. I don't think he's better than Aubameyang. I think he has just played in a better team. That's just the difference between the two. And probably if you say probably he has a better attitude, that's a different conversation entirely. But for a team struggling with that and trying to do a lot now, they want to bring in a Bernardo Silva. I don't know what Man City is thinking about that. You want to sell Sergio Dest and you want to bring a right back. And you already signed Jules Koundé. Even Xavi for me is looking like somebody who is confused right now. With that team they had last season, 1 or 2 additions, just take it from there. But I think they are trying to buy themselves away. I think they are going with this ideology that if they can get a world-class squad, if they can start winning trophies, winning championships, sponsors will come. That's why they are leveraging 25% of their future. Which could likely backfire, because for all these players they've signed, it might not guarantee success. Of course, it might guarantee top 4 in La Liga, but it doesn't guarantee them winning La Liga ahead of Real Madrid and it doesn't guarantee success in Europe. We know how Europe works. Just one bad game, it's all over. So for me, it doesn't make sense. But I hope probably someone in the future will make sense out of this. For me, it's just the Oscar, which I think there will be a lot of revelation in the future.
All right, perfect. Just to chip into what Olari said when Olari was talking about fraud, Messi was paid a loyalty fee of about 330 million euros, loyalty fee for signing a new contract. And honestly, Messi has not seen 50% of that money till date. But on the books of Barcelona, Messi have been paid that money. So that just goes to show you how I'm not an accountant. I'm pretty sure Kachi and Olari will be able to speak better to that. But that
probably
goes to show you
what they are doing. In that case, that is possible because financial statements are prepared on accrual basis.
Yeah.
Those expenses will be recognized for that period. Now that is why in their books you will see Messi as a creditor. That means they are owing him. But for the year when that money was due to Messi, those amounts will be recognized as expenses fully. The full amount will be recognized.
So that's it's not fraudulent.
And I think they usually say there's no smoke without fire. I think the La Liga chiefs or the head of La Liga also got wind of this, and that's why maybe we don't have all the details, but that's why all those tax issues came up. Those tax litigations that Messi had also came up to say, okay, if your company is saying they've accrued these expenses, and we are also not seeing an accrued, or I don't know whatever the tax system is in exactly. So something it's not tallying, and so we will get to see the end of this. I hope they are like the Nigerian politicians who always write their books 20 years after June 12th. 1993, when it doesn't matter anymore, but we'll still need the truth, and the truth will let us know that Messi may not be privy to it, but they've used the image of Messi and the fact that he's very docile and not acrimonious. The management of Barcelona have used that image to perpetuate a lot of questionable financial. I don't want to call it fraud. Questionable financial
allegedly.
Please, can you explain the 330 million loyalty fee again, please?
For signing a new contract. They
gave him the cash. They gave it to him. Like
they said, they gave him the money, but Messi have not seen 50% of the money.
He's being owed. So it's an age AP.
What?
They paid him 50% already, but it's the other 50%.
Exactly. Which for me is fraudulent. But Olawale has already corrected me that it's not fraudulent. They can do it in accounting. Anyways, Sheyi, I'm going to come to you. I saw Wesley Fofana. I'm like, why is Chelsea trying to spend 125 billion? I don't understand this season again. I think when Arsene Wenger said a couple of years ago that we'll soon see a £100 million player, everybody thought Arsene Wenger is stupid or foolish. But these days, just see them sign all this player. I'm like, why? This guy is not. I saw Gabriel Martinelli turning Fofana all around the pitch. Are you sure Fofana is not going to become another Harry Maguire when he leaves? Because I don't understand. £125 million is ridiculous. How can Leicester City reject £90 million for Fofana?
The question should be: do they actually want to sell? I think that should be the question.
Oh, okay.
Because, but at the same time, this guy Cucurella went for £63 million or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't understand what is happening to the market, especially players playing the EPL. It's not realistic.
Let me help you. No thanks to Pogba, it's £9 million. That was where the madness.
That's where the madness started. That's where it started.
I agree, but Pogba, with his talent, with the reputation he brought, is quite different.
Layo is agreeing with me. It's packaging.
But realistically, guys, I don't understand. Fofana, it does not make sense.
The funny thing is, the amount to sign Pogba then is like the estimated worth in today's market is like 200 million. Trust me. because
Yeah,
inflation
yeah,
was
true
gone up.
that.
If you look at the
Yeah.
definitely. So that
But
was
it does,
really ridiculous back then.
but realistically, for
9
Fana,
million.
it does not make sense. For Fana, does not make sense.
Nothing makes
90
sense in
million
transfer market
pounds.
again.
But you know,
Uh,
but Debo, you know what I don't like about you guys? You guys
Yeah.
did not debate. You didn't debate Grealish, Sancho,
Oh, we did.
or you didn't
Those,
debate
did.
this. So
those,
why?
We did.
those
I'm
were
not
the
saying
past.
We did. We
not
did.
that
Those were
amount.
those were the
But you
past.
didn't
We
debate
did.
those
Lion,
guys
we
like
did.
this. Because
Lion,
you know
Those
when
were
they
the
are
question.
past.
playing and they are
This is
using
the
players.
present.
we
We
question
question.
This is
We
the present.
questioned the veracity of those trades and their value.
Especially Grealish.
Oh,
Especially
especially
Grealish.
okay, I
Grealish,
wasn't
yes.
here.
Anything British was questioned on this show because
Oh,
we
okay.
know the British media hypes their player. The British media is what made Maguire become, get valued at 89 million pounds when he's not more than
Kachi
he's
Fofana is
not
not
worth
even
more than 2
British.
cups of coffee and maybe one zobo.
But
So
let's not take this away from Fofana. He's been playing professional football since 5 seasons ago, and he's 21 years old now. Like,
Yeah, so what? So what?
It's
no,
still-
no, no, no,
it's
no. I'm
still
not saying
overvalued.
it
I
should
think
be worth
I
that
think
price. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Fofana
I don't even know
is
the
still
real market
developing.
valuation for him.
Yeah.
He looks
Yeah.
like
Still
he's
developing,
25 years old.
exactly.
I like that Sheyi word. He's still
Fofana is
developing.
still developing.
He's still not
So
understand.
I don't understand.
it's criminal. It's criminal to slap a one. You mean 90 million
What?
pounds on a
They
player
rejected
that is
90
developing?
million.
That's even
They rejected
rejected.
90
That's even the
million.
rejected
They
price.
rejected about 30
You can't
million.
blame. But you
And they
can't
said they
blame
want
them
125
because
million.
That's
probably
what
they
I'm
thought
saying.
Chelsea-
That probably
they
they
thought Chelsea
don't
would
want to
behave like
sell.
United, who paid 80 million for Maguire. So it's not their fault. There is a precedence. At least in law,
Anyway.
that's what you people say. There is precedence.
But if you look
So they
at
have a
Maguire,
precedence already.
I'm not a big fan of Maguire, but he was their best player. He was their best player this season we bought him. He was the player of the year. Yeah, he was the
And
player
also-
of the year now.
And
This
because
season.
we're playing too deep. What is
An all
best about
City
him?
player. An all City player. An all City player.
Or a
I see
former All City player.
anytime I see Maguire, I see all City. I don't even see Leicester City.
But
I see
honestly,
all City.
I don't know why
That was
Fofana
relegated.
worth that much. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's too
And,
much.
and this is the problem when we talk about power play. And we have to interchange it from basketball into probably American football and into our own specialty, which is soccer. You know, you give these people ridiculous amount of money, you sell them for ridiculous amount of money or transfer fee. And like Lion said, you sell them off for failure instantly. Imagine Fofana getting to Chelsea at 125 million or even 90 million pounds, and he's not performing.
Every of his touches will be judged. Every of his touches
You'll be scrutinized. I don't understand how these people go about. I saw someone that came on this show a couple of weeks ago. I said, even Lisandro Martinez that Manchester United signed for 57 or 53 million pounds is too much.
He's under pressure.
And Olale, to make matter worse, they pay Ajax appearance fee for every game that Lisandro Martinez plays, £84,000 for every match that he plays.
But trust, you know the people running United now. You know.
I don't understand. But anyways, let's move ahead and touch the Premier League and see what we have in the Premier League. Aston Villa versus Everton. Olale, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this Everton thing. I've never been against Lampard, and for all you care, I know most people will not want to agree. Maybe bar Manchester United, maybe bar Manchester United. That Everton, that Goodison Park is the most toxic team and toxic environment in the whole of EPL. Maybe. I'm saying maybe. I'm using the word maybe because at the back of my mind, I even think United is better than Everton. Ever since Moyes left, that is the worst ground. That is the worst club in terms of toxicity in the environment. And they are looking at it. Unfortunately for them, the only guy that would have brought a little bit of stability went to Real Madrid, which is understandable. He went to Madrid, won the Champions League and whatnot, became the best manager of all time in pure European sporting term. In pure European sporting term, that's arguably the best European manager ever. You know, but you are looking at Lampard and because they'll sign players. They signed Onana for 31 million. They will still sign more players for 50 million or whatnot. They got a little bit of change over from Richard Allison. So they will sign players, but those players will not work. Do you think Everton is a strong candidate for relegation this season?
100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
I saw the game against Aston Villa and I was very worried, especially Dominic Calvert-Lewin got injured before the season started. And my fear with the Everton team, initially I was even thinking, who did Everton sign? But later I got to know that they signed this is it Dwight McNeil from Burnley. In summary, I wasn't impressed with their summer signings. They were not, most of the signings were uninspiring. And looking at the setup for a team, you are playing what I will probably relate more of a positional less forward, front three. Gray, Dwight McNeil, and Gordon. Three of them can exchange, small guys who are very mobile. But the problem when you are playing such formation, my challenge with that formation is Everton transition from defense to attack is not that good. So if your transition from attack is not that good, how do you get the best out of these three guys?
Those three guys.
Now, if you are a team that wants to go straight, you want to go long, having those three guys there is a shot for you because they will certainly come short when it comes to area challenge, especially a team. So it's a mismatch between the personnel you have and what you are able to do as a team.
Planning to do as a team.
A couple of guys, I was able a couple of times in the game against Everton, against Aston Villa, sorry. There were times where the wing backs were trying to find a target man, somebody to make a run into the box, and nobody was available. So they are sure candidates for the relegation this thing as it stands today, except Dominic Calvert-Lewin comes back. They lack quality in front. Solomon Rondo is not believed in. And for heaven's sake, Lampard signed Dele Alli on permanent deal from Spurs last season in January. And it's not even making your first team. What is it? The assess not making your first team, is it because you've assessed him now, or when you are signing him? So for some time, I begin to question his own ability in time of
Dele Alli is not playing very well, anyways.
Trying to put things together. Last season, I was a bit okay because that question started last season when he got Dele Alli and he got Donny van der Beek. Why should you have to get the two of them? You don't need the two. Probably one is enough. So for me, I think you have to question Lampard technical know-how.
Decision making,
decision making. And again, the team as a whole looks very, because one problem with that team is they will struggle to get goals.
I don't understand the team that plays Alexander Iwobi as your attacking midfielder. That's a huge problem. It's a huge problem.
That's why I said their transition of the ball from defense.
I'm not against Iwobi. Iwobi is from the Hill Hand. I love Iwobi. But if that is your only attacking option, that is your attacking player, attacking midfielder. I don't know. I don't understand.
Iwobi actually played very deep initially in that game. He played
because that's the formation. That's the formation.
Because Lampard, I don't understand what I'm telling you. His fullbacks also played very, very high, and he completely forgot I was playing against two big giant strikers, Ings and Watkins. Watkins with the pace. Sincerely, Lampard might be sacked before December.
That's a problem with Everton. They will sack Lampard. They will get another person. It's a toxic environment. They will sack the next person. They will sack the next person. They will sack the next person again. You see,
I think if they let Lampard go, things may change. The reason I say that is Lampard does not seem to be playing to his players' strength, but playing based on the formation he learned during his coaching license, whatever. Oh, this is my best formation. Whether the players are well suited to it, I don't care. This is what I know how to prepare for. And it leads to us questioning the same way we question British players we should start questioning some of these British coach. I'm serious.
Since
We look at the
when?
league. There is no representation. Are you saying the likes of Paul Ince and the other guy, this guy, that same guy who coached Newcastle in the past,
So Campbell.
Kachi,
the Sol
Kachi,
Campbells of this world,
Kachi.
who I
Yeah.
think
This
will
guy.
do a
Let's
better job
Kachi finish.
than
Well,
Lampard?
go ahead,
So
Kachi.
time has come for us to, and for shows such as this and other shows, to start to question. They shouldn't be in the studio analyzing games when we've seen many times over. Even Chris Hutton, I think Chris Hutton or whatever his name is,
Yeah,
will
Yes.
probably do a better job than what Lampard is doing now. I think Lampard is bereft of ideas. He probably shouldn't have started the way he started, getting that job first. Go make your bones in Scotland. Go make your bones in the MLS. Go make your bones in the Championship, and then come take a team such as Everton. But what would we say is the British guy? Oh, Lampard made. They formed one of the greatest midfield we'd ever seen between Lampard and Stevie G. And if Stevie G is doing it, Lampard can do it. Lampard is limited, and until the Everton board accepts and admits that, they will. As soon as I saw their press game against a Chelsea team that did not appear motivated, and Everton couldn't take the game to them, I knew their relegation was only delayed by one season. I'm sorry, but they will be involved in the relegation dogfight.
All right, perfect. Lion, I'm gonna come to you for this one. Arsenal versus Leicester City. We had a little bit of snippet to it when I told you Gabriel Martinelli was turning for Fana around like a Baba's channel and whatnot. But looking at it holistically, you see a bit of should I say improvement on the part of Arsenal. And you see Leicester City on the other side. They are not signing players. They are getting goalkeepers for free of charge, and they're expecting Brendan Rodgers to perform miracles. I don't know how these things happen. I don't understand how this thing happened. And they are the same people quoting £125 million to sell Fofana. But holistically, looking at the two teams, Arsenal, how well do you think Arsenal performed on the day, and what is the way forward for Leicester City? Do they need to add more guys to the team, or is good as is right now?
I don't think at this age of Premiership EPL, I don't think you can be going one season without signing a player. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any outright sense. And Arsenal is really red hot right now. Like, they are boiling. Trust me, like, they've improved. Though I used to hate Arsenal when I was in college back then, but I stopped hating Arsenal because they failed for over many years,
You now feel pity for them.
Stop hating
You feel pity. You feel pity for them now.
That failure, you pick up from there. It will be like, oh, I'm mocking these people. It's getting too much. Let me not mock them again. Let me just, So Arsenal is really picking up compared to Manchester United. They are really, really picking up, and they do. Leicester City doesn't look like a good fit for yesterday's game. They don't look a good fit for Arsenal in yesterday's game that I saw. Like, they were fast, they were outnumbered, they were outpaced. They can't just get it. So I'll just say I think Leicester needs to get new players. Like, they need to sign players like Vardy. They can't keep depending on Vardy. Vardy is old. He's on his last leg. You need younger strikers. You need younger ones. And they sold this guy. One of these guys. What's this guy's name? Demarai Gray to Everton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was one of their upcoming star. Actually, I don't expect them to sell someone like that.
They did not. No, they did not extend his contract. He went to Bayer Leverkusen and came to Everton.
Okay, yeah. But they shouldn't have let that guy go, because that guy is a bright star. Even while Everton is misfiring, you can still see his effects in the team.
So as it stands now, Lyle, Tielemans wants to leave Leicester City.
Yeah.
Is all bent on going to Arsenal. Do you think that kind of Tielemans would help Manchester United if he goes for Manchester United?
If he goes to
Manchester United.
I don't. You're telling me, it's more like an attacking midfielder. We already have. I think what Man U needs right now, and they had making that mistake all over and over again. They made that mistake last season when we started the league with Ole. I know we've had 4 coaches from that beginning of last season till now. they made that mistake was not.
You have 4 coaches. Are you serious, or 3?
No, 4. Ralph, Ole, Ralph, Carrick, and
Oh wow, 4.
Mr. Hand.
That's nice. So practically now it looks like sounds like United is more toxic than Everton.
Yeah,
But-
they are making
so-
the same mistake by we don't even need your talisman because it's not even a dedicated DM. Let me tell you my own kind of game. I love game. I love it when you are coming to this game.
I know
with
you're. I know.
pivot.
Fabio. Just
Double
say it.
pivot. Oh no, it doesn't even have to be a CDM. I love double pivot game where you have 2 dedicated DM, and that's what Manchester needs right now because our defense is very shaky. They continue playing.
Don't worry. Sorry, I asked you about United. Sorry. I'm not.
Sorry. So my point is,
I'm not adding anything United today. Yeah.
Talisman. I don't think he's a good player, but maybe
But he's not going to be a good fit.
if we did not sign Eriksen, maybe it would have been a good addition. But that's not what we need right now. That's my point about it.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much for that.
Look at Leicester from the other side. They are more of a selling club than a buying club.
Buying club.
They are doing this Baba Jebu transfer market where they sell players. Now they want to sell Wesley Fofana, and they'll go and find one cheap player. They'll build it up and put him.
I said, and slap it.
And what's the market valuation for Yuri Talisman again? I know they are going to send him like.
He has just 1 year left on his contract, so he's going for about 25 million pounds.
Oh, 25 million. That's a good deal for Arsenal.
But
do you think Arsenal really needs him? Do you think Arsenal really needs him?
As it stands, honestly, I like that question. Honestly, because I don't get to be asked so many questions on this show. I have the question, yeah. But for me, I think the way Granit Xhaka is playing right now, I don't think Arsenal really needs Talisman. Because if he comes, he's probably not going to start games. They have Fabio Vieira who can slot into that position as well. So buying him is a no for me. Because he's a good player and you can't keep that kind of good player unhappy.
On the bench. Yes.
And if he comes, he's going to be unhappy. So for me, it's a no. But I don't know if anybody has a dissenting opinion. Anyways, Brighton and Hove that disgraced United last week played a 0-0 draw against Newcastle. City, as expected, defeated Bournemouth 4-0. KDB doing KDB as well, and Phil Foden as well. Southampton played a 2-2 draw against Leeds United. Joe Aribo among the goal scorer. Wolves played a 0-0 draw against Fulham, while Forest defeated West Ham 1-0. And this is my question, Olali. This is how problem starts. And if you don't quickly arrest it, you're like, okay, it's just 2 games. Do you think at this point we should be pressing panic buttons for West Ham, or we should just be like, okay, it's just the start of the season. We don't have to be overboard right now.
They lost the first game to Man City, who are arguably probably the best.
Better than them.
So, of course, for this game, I think they were pretty unlucky not to get something out of this game, or not win it outrightly. They were unlucky to get Benrahma Good disallowed. With all due respect to Nottingham Forest, it was more of a luck. So the goal was Awoni didn't probably have any idea about how that ball probably hit him. So
yeah,
and they missed the penalty. There are some couple of chances in the second half. I don't think it's early. I think it's too early to probably start questioning or concerned about West Ham. I think over the last 2 years, they've achieved a lot. We might probably likely see what happened to Leicester. Leicester had like 2 or 3 seasons that they achieved. They nearly make it to their top 4. And that last year, sometimes these things are not sustainable. This could be the year West Ham might take a little of back seats, probably not finishing 6th or 7th.
About to be out of reckoning for a while. Of course, Kachi.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah. No. I'm coming to. Okay, Kachi, you can take over. You can take over now. We still have the Chelsea Sports game, and of course the United game. You know, I said I'm not going to say anything about United. So all the questions that you want to ask the guys. I'm going to take it back for this one for Chelsea and Sports. But don't ask me
Okay.
anything about Manchester United.
Thank you, Debo. It's always a pleasure to be on the other side of the table. With us on the show today, for our listeners and viewers, three of our co-panelists, they have some affiliation with Manchester United, even though Lyle would do like Peter and deny Jesus Christ 3 times. I hope he doesn't deny United today. But last week when we did this show, I said it was probably too early to start the inquest into how terrible a season United will have, because I expected them to have a bounce back game against the Brentford side that we know are brimming with confidence, but also have the occasional lapse in concentration. Unfortunately for me, or rather, before I even go there, Ten Hag seemed to also bow to pressure and returned Cristiano Ronaldo to the starting lineup with two very intelligent players playing behind him, Christian Eriksen. So I thought there would be some form of verve in it. Alas, it was a 25 minutes of hell in the first half. United going down by as much as 4 goals before the turn of the, I think before the first half hour, if I can remember the scoreline. Shambo defending. I saw a meme where they said the gloves that our very famous erstwhile dependable goalkeeper in David De Gea was wearing had a big hole in it because he considered that first goal very sheepishly. Eriksen losing the ball, leading to the second goal, and a very static. I'm looking at the fourth goal, very static defending, a clearance from a Manchester United offensive foray led to a clearance. The very next touch led to a chance, and it became a goal. Now, I'm still thinking of who to ask this question. The question now is it already time for us to concede that this United team is not good enough this season? I'm saying so because I saw his statistics. The miles run, the Brentford team as a whole ran 109 kilometers. The Manchester United team as a whole ran 95 kilometers. That means they may be talented, but hard work will trump talent when talent does not work hard. This talented United team on paper seem not to be working hard, not for themselves, not for their reputation, not for the new club. The question now is, where's Olawale? I think we lost Olawale there, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why we did so.
Time to lose him. This is not the best
time. And this is not the best time. Sheyi, I'm going to start with you. Is it still too early to say this is a lost season for United? Secondly, and Laya, I want you to think about this because it will be the same question. Secondly, what is the way forward? The United management came out to say Ten Hag should lower his expectation. He's not going to get everybody he wants this season. Is it already lost? Because I don't know what else to say. What other question to ask you than that? Is this a season that they should not even think of getting to the top half? They should just write off this season like the accountants do. And what is the next step forward? Lyle, can you please try and answer this question?
Hold on, let me drink water first because this is a serious matter.
It's that bad. It is that bad.
I wanted to take something back. I love your analysis, and I saw your last video where Debo said you're an Arsenal fan that is so passionate.
Unfortunately, I'm not an Arsenal fan. He is the Arsenal fan. I'm an AC Milan fan.
Oh yeah,
I'm a Rossoneri.
You're very passionate about Man U. I can see it in your voice. I can read it. But my point is, don't say those players are talented. They are not. Most of those players, they are overpaid. In the first place, they are really, really overpaid. And they are not doing... Okay, for example, if I'm being paid to do a job as a black man in America, and I'm not doing it well, trust me, I'm going to get fired the next morning. But they have to... First of all, they have to introduce that kind of discipline into the Manchester United ecosystem for those players to be able to come back to their senses, because they're not playing with passion. No passion, no dedication, no discipline. They just come like it's just like you are stealing a living. That's the way I see those players. There are just very few of them that is really, really dedicated, playing with dedication. Like you said now, you said the other team, the smaller team ran 109 kilometers and Man U ran lesser. You know why Brentford beat Man U? Because they are playing with passion for the team.
Yeah.
They are very hard at work. They have a mission. But Man U doesn't even seem to have a mission. Even apart from that, were we even trying to score in that game? No. How many shots at goal? Just 2 shots at goal, which is a very, very comfortable catch for the goalkeeper. Most of those attempts on goal, they were very, very simple attempts. You understand what I'm saying? So my point is, I'm writing Man U as a Man U fan. I'm writing them off early this year. Number one, they've set up the coach. I really pity the coach. I like the coach, and I love his confidence because it's very, very hard for Manchester to attract an outside coach that is not an English coach. Trust me, if they sack Eric today,
it's the last big name they will get. I agree.
Like, what's the name of this former Bolton coach?
No, Frank Lampard will come.
Everybody will want to take the job.
Frank Lampard will move from Everton to United now.
And definitely our assistant coach, our assistant online coach, which is Gary Neville, he will definitely want an Englishman there. He even want the job for himself. You understand? So it's very, very hard to see a top coach that will take the job right now. I mean, that's how bad it is for Man U already. It's very I don't even think we can attract any big coach in the world right now. But that guy came because he has a project. But I feel like he's not getting enough backing. Though he made some mistakes in yesterday's game. Never should you play someone like Fred in a defensive midfield role. You saw the first game. You saw what happened in the first game. You saw how it went out. You saw how they played badly. I don't think, and that's what I'm saying the other time when Debo caught me that I should not talk about Man U too much. We are making the same mistake Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made. We are coming to a new season without a dedicated DM and a dedicated striker, natural striker. When last did we play a striker as a Man U, as a club in Man U? Is it that we are playing false nine or we are deploying Martial? Or those guys are not even strikers. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm writing them off because they have to produce those two. In fact, if they are bringing in a DM before the transfer window closes and they are bringing in a striker, I still need one winger. I always say that in that group. The reason why I want a winger is I need someone to challenge those Sancho and Rashford. Those guys, they are not disciplined, they are not passionate, they are not hardworking. They just come to the field to steal a living. That's the way I see them. They are not doing much. They are not doing anything different, So bring one winger to come and challenge them and bring a striker because Ronaldo is very, very undoubtful now. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know his decision. You understand? So, and a dedicated DM. See, Arsenal now. I don't think Arsenal ever had a dedicated DM before you brought in Thomas Partey. I said
they were playing Granit Xhaka in that role.
Xhaka is very hard. He's not that kind of player that you can put in that role. He's not a disciplined player. He's a very, very
professional player.
He's aggressive. You can't put him in that role. Since when that guy came, he really made a lot of changes in your midfield. That's exactly what Man U needs right now. A dedicated, not playing Scott McTominay, Mark Fred this season, and put what's the name of this guy? What's the name of this Dutch guy today? Is
Van der Beek.
So are you telling me we had like how many months out? 4-month break or 5-month break, not to decide to bring, and we are doing the same thing all over again, like we did last season. That's where one of the problems is. They keep buying different defenders. Why do you keep buying different defenders when we have a lot of defenders already? We have Bailey, we have Lindelof, we have Kamguaya, we have Martinez now, we have Varane. 5 defenders.
Okay, Lio, hold that thought, Lio. I want to pose the next question to Sheyi. Olawale, for some reason, has refused to come. Sheyi, thank you for having the balls to remain on this show, even though you know it's going to be rude.
I'm not sure Sheyi is even here.
We lost Sheyi as well. Okay, so Lio,
ask me the question for you.
As a rejoinder, Debo, De Gea during his interview said that the current United team is lacking in confidence. Do you think this is a confidence thing, especially because of the people they have planted in the media, the Gary Nevilles, the Roy Keanes, are not saying things that will endear them, or they are shredding this current iteration of Manchester United, shredding them every single time. For you, do you think it's a confidence thing? Do you think a time will come when these guys will turn the corner? Do they need a longer break? I'm saying this because all the memories I have of United are memories of teams that dominate. They may start bad, but they will dominate at the end of the season. I said during our production call that there's probably a silver lining. Arsenal started as bad as this, starting 3 straight games, losing to Brentford, the same Brentford, Chelsea, and Manchester City. But they ended up, no, they ended up, well, they will play European football today, albeit not the Champions League. Do you think there is a silver lining? Does Ten Hag need a longer break to get his team to play the way they want to play? I hear right now that Cristiano Ronaldo's contract may be terminated. That's the feelers we're getting from England right now. What happens? This is the only goal guarantor you have. If you are not getting goals with Cristiano Ronaldo right now on your team, what becomes of United? Any chance that they will turn the corner? Sheyi, since you are here, if you can hear my questions, I want to hear from your perspective before I take it to Debo.
Okay, thank you, Kachi. I think eventually United is going to get it right. I have no doubt about that. Earlier, you asked a question about this season, and I think nobody needs to actually get any hopes high up there for Manchester United this season. And I have my reasons. I think everything is wrong with the team right now. Starting from the board. They took too long to sign players. They knew they were going to need players before Ralph Ragnick left that job. Mm-hmm. They knew they were going to come, a new coach was coming in before the end of last season. They had meetings. In short, what I'm saying is that they had a list of targets. And guess what? They took almost 2 months to start signing one player. It doesn't make any sense. That is from that aspect. They have their blame from that aspect. Now, coming back to still the same signing of players and the coach himself. This season, we tend to forget something, that the EPL this season started substitution of 5 players. Mm-hmm. The sensible coaches knew that this is a time for them to create depth in their squad. 2 things. You have to have quality in that particular squad. And you have to have enough players, even if you don't have the quality players. This means that you have the opportunity to put in a strong team from 0 minutes to 90 minutes. Right. Because when you are making substitutions, you are not weakening your team. You're actually strengthening it, or you are keeping the tempo of the game. Look at Manchester United. You want to make a substitution. You are bringing in Elanga, and you want to change the game. It doesn't make any sense. And do you know where that comes from? They lost 5 experienced players. I mean experience in terms of advanced in their career. We are talking of Pogba, Lingard, Henderson, Matic, Mata. I'm sure I'm missing somebody out. And they signed how many players? Alex Telles, thank you. And they signed how many players? 3 players. In a season that we have opportunity to substitute 5 players. This means that your opponent can refresh easily and your team will get more tiring. So I don't understand what the board is thinking, or the technical team is thinking, or the coach himself. They've already started this season on a back foot by having less players, including that they have less quality. That's why you see Brentford team running almost 109 kilometers, and you see the Manchester United whole team running 95. That is it, because the guys on the field are probably tired, and you're not even going to bring in any sensible quality player on board. That is that. Then the third aspect of it is the coach himself trying to bring in a particular philosophy. You have a team that's on ground that does not even, they are low in confidence. Even what they know how to play, they are not playing it well, and you want to impose that particular philosophy on them. It's going to take time. But for me, I think he should have analyzed the league itself, analyze each team is playing, and come with a tactics. It was very evident in the game against Brentford. Last season, Brentford was one of the top set pieces team in the EPL.
Right.
And you brought in a Martinez to defend against the likes of me. Number one, Martinez is a new player in this league. I don't expect anything less or anything more from him from the first two games. But I watched the preseason, Manchester United preseason, every game of it. And I saw Ten Hag used different combinations of defense throughout the preseason. Guess what? His starting 11 on the day, it's a combination that never played the preseason. Why did that happen? A lot of things are wrong with the team. This guy, I think probably because he's new to the league, he's still learning about the league. So I want to believe that everything will come out good at the end of the day. But right now, let us just write up the whole thing. A lot of things. I think I've been able to just pick up
this is for you.
some of it.
This is for you.
But Shay, what do you think the solution is? Like, do you think the coach need more backing from the management, or what do you think we really need, or bring in more? Okay, when is the transfer window closing? Ending of this month, right?
Ending
Yeah,
of this month, August.
Yeah, or you think we need to bring in more players? And even if we need to bring in more players, what department do you think we are lacking?
We are lacking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Manchester
Everywhere.
United is lacking everywhere.
Except goalkeeper. Everywhere.
Except for even the goalkeeper was one of the problems in the last match.
Yeah, but goalkeepers have one or two games where they mess up, But when the goalkeeper consistently wins the best player at the end of each season for the last 3 seasons, it tells you that you are lacking everywhere.
There's a major problem.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much, Kachi, for answering the Manchester United. Actually, you wanted to add something else to it.
I was asking some questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, I think it needs to get quite a lot of players. Right now, what has messed up the transfer season for Manchester United is De Jong transfer. That is what he wants. We understand that, but the way it is it's not looking as if it's going to happen. So why not look out for backup players, get them in and kick off your season. Eventually, if you get De Jong this August, fantastic. If you're able to get him in January, then how you go on with your player. I listened to Fabrizio Romano over the break, and he kept on saying that ETH plan A, B, and C is De Jong. I felt totally disappointed because the way it is now, it seems your plan is not coming to place, and right now you don't even have a plan B to fall to. So it's really a big problem for Erik ten Hag. But for me, I think he should get as much players into the team as possible. Because teams will make substitutions and they'll be stronger than you. Even when you are leading games 2-0, there's possibility for a Chelsea that will bring in the likes of Mason Mount, the likes of Hakim Ziyech into the game, will definitely catch up on you and beat you.
Around.
So right now, the team has started on the back foot. It needs to recruit as many as possible. Average players for now, if you can't.
You should do like Arsenal, like the one Debo mentioned that time when they beat Arsenal 8-2 or something in the beginning of the season, that they went to
sign Benayoun and the
Exactly. Honestly, I I think honestly, I don't want to talk about United again, anyways. But at this point, the problem is deeper than meets the eye. One, the management is not backing up the coach. Two, the coach is being adamant on getting a player that he knows he cannot get. He will not get that guy. That is the truth. Even if that guy is going to come to Premier League, he's probably go to Chelsea. So
Yeah.
so I don't like. So there are a lot of problems, and even the player that he has right now, maybe with the exception of, I don't even know the exception of who I want to say, they are all useless. They are not. It's not like they are bad players. They are not bad players, but they are playing as if they are not interested in playing for United. They don't value the jersey that they wear. You know,
At
so
least
it's a major problem. I don't even know where. Shay, that's why when you said they would turn the corner, that's why I was laughing. I don't see this team turning any corner. Honestly, I don't see them turning any corner.
So
And comparing them to Arsenal of last season is even a disservice to Arsenal. Arsenal of last season, during their first game, they had like 5 or 6 players that had COVID. Their next game after that was, I believe, was against City, which is arguably one of the best teams in the world. And their third game was against the reigning champions of Europe then, Chelsea. So, but this one, they played against, who did you guys play against? Brighton and Hove.
Brentford.
I know that was your first game. The second game was Brentford. So it's not like,
to the extent that they said we should have resigned Danny Welbeck.
exactly. Imagine that was Ferdinand's advice to Manchester United, that if they need a backup striker, they should have gotten Danny Welbeck. To do what exactly? So when you said they are going to turn the corner, if you guys have played City and Liverpool first 2 games and you lost, then we understand. But if you cannot beat BHA at Old Trafford, you cannot go to Brentford and get a result and lose 4-0 within the next first 35 minutes. There's a major problem.
Debo, to be sincere, you need to look at Manchester United team and see that Erik ten Hag still doesn't know his first 11. He still doesn't know the type of players he wants to play. But there's something in his head. He wants to play Bruno and
Eriksen together.
And Eriksen, thank you. And I still don't understand why, because it's fantastic. He wants to play positive football. We know that. But the best thing for him right now is to try as much as possible not to concede. He used only Fred as a single pivot against Brentford. Eriksen and Bruno. He brought in Ronaldo back to the team and the usual Rashford and Sancho. See what happens. None of them was able to do anything because Brentford came into the game to just close the gaps. They just put pressure, that is all, and everything was all over. Look at Brighton and Hove, similar thing, even with different pattern, using a false 9, Eriksen and Bruno in front, and using double pivot of Fred and McTominay.
My Fred.
They still could not get out of the pressure. So there's something wrong about
So that means it's still experimenting, like using
exactly,
and it's not even getting the results. And it's even more ridiculous with a smaller team.
If Premier League is not Dutch league, you want to experiment during the season. I think at this rate, if you continue at this rate, United will be a candidate for relegation. I'm sorry to say that.
The way we're
I'm
going,
really sorry to say that.
Because I don't know how
there will be a relegation candidate.
We're not going to escape that Liverpool game.
The thing is,
even
imagine losing against Liverpool emphatically. Not that word, emphatically. Imagine what that would do to the psychological and the mental state of the whole team.
Yes.
Imagine what that would do to them. I don't know.
I don't think it's something.
I think he's going to settle. He's going to settle for his defense line very soon. Now he knows that Martinez is not there yet. He needs to bring back Varane back into that team.
They just need to sign.
Stature, experience.
they need to go and sign. They need to sign Ruben Neves. That is the only option. Get Ruben Neves. It's going to change the dynamic of that thing.
Of the midfield.
It's going to change it. If you want Frankie de Jong, you can get Frankie de Jong later. And if you cannot get him, it's fine. But sign Ruben Neves today, like yesterday. Without that,
but the problem with Ruben Neves is, I think he has 1 year left on his contract, and it's still very expensive. Like,
just sign
I think
him.
it's around
Just
70
sign
million.
him.
But
Just
that's
sign him. 60 million. Sign him.
Million, right?
Okay.
Sign the player.
To sign 60 million and going on relegation, Ochafo going playing in the championship. Which one is better?
Well, I've watched that guy. He holds the ball too much, man, for my liking.
He is going to help you guys. The guy knows how to transition play. He knows how to break play. He knows how to defend. That guy I love that guy. I love him. He might not be the best.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good
that
player.
Guy will change. It will change a whole lot of things. And if you want to play double pivot, play that kind of guy with Lisandro Martinez in the middle of the park. Play either Eriksen and Bruno. We mentioned this on the show. You guys got Eriksen.
Guys together.
Playing Bruno and Eriksen is going to be a problem. Wanting to play both of them is going to be a problem.
Yeah,
and this is what Olawale said when they gave Bruno a contract extension before Erik ten Hag came. That what if Ten Hag comes and he does not like Bruno? You gave him an extension of 3 or 5 years or whatnot. Some things just don't make sense.
And it's been misfiring after signing that contract.
He's been misfiring for so long. Honestly, should be told. He has been, and I keep saying it. He loses the ball in dangerous positions.
And
the only thing that Bruno brings to the team that is very tangible is that he scores goals, but those goals are dried up itself.
They've dried up, yeah. It doesn't.
You guys have not even scored a goal this season.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of issues, honestly, a lot of issues. Just before we go on the show, Temilayo, Tuchel versus Antonio Conte. If they go into a boxing bout, who do you think will win?
Conte will beat him now.
Conte will beat him. Anyways, that's what we had.
I don't think he will raise up to 100 pounds.
That's the issue that we had.
He was so indisciplined because during the final whistle, Conte went to him respectfully to greet him as, as a lover of football, fair play, like, oh, thank you. And he dragged him back. I think he should be penalized for that. Not just red card. Like, he should be disciplined for that because that was not a good spirit of sportsmanship.
Exactly.
That was
I agree with you 100%.
Aggressive and toggery, He shouldn't do that.
Yeah. That should be something Antonio Conte would do, not Titi. Titi looks more gentleman. Yeah, Conte is feisty. We know that. That's the story between Chelsea and Spurs. The game ended 2-2. Spurs on that day, in my own personal opinion, I don't think they deserve a draw from the match. And Chelsea played beautifully well. I don't know if you guys have a dissenting opinion to that. But for me, I don't think Spurs, and there were a lot of debatable decisions, like the build up to Spurs equalizing goal when Kai Havertz was hacked down by, I don't know what, it wasn't all by Bentancur that gave Spurs, and that attack caused Spurs to get the equalizer. And even the second equalizer that Cucurella was jacked down by I don't know who exactly. I can't remember who exactly right now. I think Højbjerg that dragged him back. Those are situations that we saw in the game. But it's one of those things. Like I told the Chelsea fan, I said you guys had that kind of good decisions going for you last season as well. 3 in a row, starting with Newcastle. I think Southampton and one other team as well. You guys had the issue. No, but it's all good. Sheyi, thank you very much for joining us. Layo, Kachi, Olawale, thank you guys very much for joining us. Till we see you again next week.
No problem. I would like to come back on the show. Feel free to let me know.
Don't worry, I'll definitely let you know.
It's fun.
Bye, guys.
Thank
yeah,
you.
bye.